people have been waiting for this video for a long time.
I know.
Both of us have been getting kind of busy in and out of the Christmas season, I guess.
True, but we are now here to give the people what they want.
Law Talk with Bran and Min. And this is going to be mainly about Luna 3, which was the latest, at least as of publishing this video, I'm pretty sure the latest Archon quest that we've had.
Hey, as long as we upload before the live stream, we're good.
My God, so much happened. Now, not only can you save a ton of money by topping up through Aniba for your favorite gacha games, but they've also started a new platform called Snacksy, where you can earn money just by playing games on the platform as well. If you sign up, you get a $10 welcome bonus. Just register, fill out the small survey to get some game recommendations, select a game, and you can earn quite a lot of money depending on how much time and effort you put into it. Genuinely one of the easiest side hustles ever. Check it out in the link in the pinned comment. When I was playing through the quest, originally I was thinking, oh my God, I'm surprised that this is such a chill quest.
At the beginning, right?
It did not remain the case for the duration, for the remainder of the quest.
Luna 3, like the Act 6, happened pretty fast. So I think Act 5 was them trying to figure out, oh, it's the Phantoms.
Yeah, Columbina disappearing. That was an interesting time, to say the least, because, I mean, we all knew she wasn't going to be dead, right? Number one, this is Genshin. They're not going to kill a potential playable character. And number two, they're not going to kill a potential playable character before they're fucking playable. Yeah,
this isn't Honkai Star Rail, so I feel like we Genshin fans, we can rest easy. Unless you know, they jump scare us and there does end up being a situation in which a character does, in a way, die, perhaps, then that'll be quite a field day online, I can imagine.
But yeah, she did end up fading out, disappearing because of the lack of power, the fact that Teyvat was rejecting her, she said, which I thought in of itself was a pretty interesting tidbit, but definitely not the most interesting thing that happened that quest. You mentioned that we got to see Alice, obviously, for the first time in game. What did you think about that? What did you think about getting to meet the Hex and Zircle witches, Alice and Nicole specifically?
My stomach dropped to my ass, but like in the best way possible. It's almost like you're riding a roller coaster, and then the moment you see them on screen is when the drop happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah. See, and that's a more elegant way of saying it rather than my stomach dropped to my ass.
Thank you. It was just like, the words were just, they fled from my brain the moment I thought of Alice and Nicole, and that was probably one of my favorite parts in the entire quest. And it was the fact that we just got both of them almost back to back. And breaking the fourth wall, and it was just probably the best introduction for both of them. I couldn't have imagined it any better.
I agree. I'm very glad that they got Nicole's lip sync perfect too.
It was good.
Because she doesn't speak. Someone on Twitter was like complaining about lip sync, and I was like, yeah, no, Nicole's is perfect. And they were like, oh, really? I'll have to check out the quest. But no, I do agree with you. I think Alice's introduction was by far and large the best introduction we've ever had. The fourth wall breaking, the immersion breaking, the everything, showing us the UI, readjusting the camera was like, it's just cool. It was very cool. I like Nicole a lot more than I originally expected to.
What made you drawn to her character?
I've loved Nicole in the lore since we got to know who she was and what she was all about, right? All the way back in, Fontaine? End of Sumeru, start of Fontaine. I always get excited whenever we get any kind of Nicole information. Like at the end of the last video that we did, we spoke about it, right? And I was like, oh my God, I remember the pot breaking in the other room. It has to be Nicole.
Yeah, you pointed it out. Yeah, that was good.
Super happy that it was, and we actually got to see her. Ever since we saw her character design, a lot of people say that it is far less detailed than other Hex and Zircle mages, for example.
Really?
Yeah, and I kind of agree, to be honest, I do, but I love her design.
It's
really
very
do.
Pretty.
I think it is very pretty.
I'm looking at the all around her. The skirt, the way they did the skirt is actually really nice too. She kind of looks like a mermaid.
But I love her as a character, and I'm really glad she's got this kind of, I don't know how to say it. Her personality is very kind of ADHD, over the top kind of, I want to say this, but I don't want to say it in the wrong way, and I just want to talk about my passions and what I'm passionate about and what I'm good at, and I want to talk about it, and nobody will listen, and I want to talk, you know what I mean?
She's so sweet.
Not what I expected from her character at all. Very happy that is the case, though.
I love the juxtaposition of her being extremely talkative while also being like physically mute. I know, it's very poetic and it's very cute. Like it makes her character so charming.
Just wanted to yap your ear off, literally.
She's the yap queen.
I guess let's try try to focus on the first half for now of the quest.
Okay.
Even though it's really difficult because the second half is just so fucking good.
Yeah, there's so much that happens.
But the first half, obviously, Columbina disappearing, still being able to see us kind of being able to sense her in a weird way, going on the journey to figure out what was going on, why she was disappearing, how we could prevent it from happening, bring her back, get her to enjoy the Moon Fair night, whatever it was called. And then also the little part at the end, I think, with Albedo, Durin, and Wanderer.
Right. Yeah. And the fact that Abyss energy has fate-changing properties potentially, which was kind of mind-blowing.
But yeah, that part of the quest was very cool. I enjoyed that, especially like going back and forth with Alice and it leading into the big plot twist at the end.
Right.
The final act, which we'll get onto later. I really want to talk about it now, but we'll get onto it later. Obviously, we got everybody together, tested everybody's like Kuvaki tolerance, basically, or not even necessarily Kuvaki tolerance, but just the power that Nicole was pumping into us.
Right. Yeah. Their Kavaki sensitivity or something.
Exactly. Yeah. To be able to harness the power of the Moon Marrow, I think it was, right? To be able to open up the Moon Gate. Before we even get into the lore stuff properly, the pacing of those two quests, I think, was impeccable.
Yeah, it was good. I'm surprised with the pacing of Nodcry in general. That it's just it's very rare for me to feel like, oh, this part is kind of dragging a little bit.
Yep.
Kind of in previous Genshin quests. I feel as though they have the pacing for storytelling down a lot better in Nodcry.
Oh, the spaceship.
I forgot that happened in this quest.
Yeah, the spaceship. Probably, yeah, like technically, probably the most important point of the entire quest, believe it or not, the spaceship. What are your thoughts on that? Someone asked me about it today, and they were like, so how did Lumine even like let us out? I'm like, okay, I just think this is a brand new plot line that they've inserted into the story, and there's genuinely, I don't think there's enough information about it yet to even come up with like a plausible theory.
That's how I feel. The only thing I can think of is that, do you know how the Hyperboreans had this machine where you could access different points of time in the past, or you could just see like echoes, like a place where you could see all these echoes or something?
Echoes of the past.
Echoes of the past. I wonder if there's some time shenanigans involved with how the Abyss sibling left the ship. So they probably entered some kind of mysterious realm in which they access a different point in time. And that's why they kind of left the ship unscathed, and then time passed on the ship, but they're all still technically closed. Like all the doors for it are still technically closed. So my only thing is that, okay, there has to be an Istaroth interference. There has to be a time shenanigan thing going on, because maybe the Abyss sibling was pulled from the ship because they were wished to Conria or something like that. Either time shenanigans or some Conria teleportation shenanigans. That's the only explanations I have for it. But I need more information on it, though, to fully believe it.
My thoughts about it were, specifically when people were talking about how the fuck did Lumine even do it, I also thought timey-wimey bullshit.
Timey-wimey, yeah.
But I didn't necessarily think Istaroth, which is weird, because usually whenever we think about time-related stuff, we do think of Istaroth. I actually thought about a Moongate, since we're in Nodcry.
Oh, good point. And Conria / Nodcry things are starting to cross over a bit.
Exactly, and we know Conria had heavy ties to certain moons.
Right.
But it was also due to something that a certain bluehead somebody said at the very end, which again we can get onto later, but it was specifically about the divine powers not belonging to the heavenly principles, basically.
Yeah.
And I was like, so who the fuck did they belong to originally then?
Right.
Like, obviously Nibelung.
Right.
If we're gonna go down that route.
And it seems like he just delegated it to the Moon Sisters, perchance.
Yeah, it's a very weird one. Oh, I guess Nibelung even technically seized it from them, so did it just belong to them originally? But then the way that Dottore said it in the end doesn't sound like it even originally belonged to the Moon Sisters. It was a weird thing at the end, but I'm very excited to start discussing that later.
Right.
I guess we did go and speak to Marionette and Arlecchino with Wanderer, which was very interesting.
Yeah. And it's almost like I almost forgot that they don't remember him, because technically his spot, what was he, the 6th, would be empty. And I was just like, wait, and I was like, wait, this is the Futui reunion that we kind of wanted. And then I'm like, oh, I forgot they don't remember him. So that was like, it was jarring to me for a second until I was like, oh yeah, that's right.
God damn it. Okay.
Which stinks because he's one of 2 C6 characters I have because I loved his story so much that I had to just, I just swiped that credit card because the story was so good.
But no, I think you're right. I think that is pretty much the end of the road for that act.
Right.
And then we get into the good shit.
Act 6, which took me by complete surprise. Holy moly.
Yeah, me too. We started Act 6 very quickly. It literally went straight from Act 5 into Act 6, again, where Nicole was basically trying to test everybody's Kuvaki resilience, Kuvaki ability to hold the power, basically. We learned that Varka's a bit of a pussy. Yeah, I guess we start off and we see the new murals. We know that murals are always a very fun time in Genshin. Very interesting indeed. What do we see? Nibelung, breathing fire through the 3 moons. With the three moon sisters imprisoned below. But originally, I thought they were in like a protective bubble. I thought he was actually protecting them.
Yeah, like within the false sky or something like that.
But yeah, then we did have another mural, but that was just with the 3 moon sisters. Surprise, surprise. None of them really look like Columbina.
Yeah. Am I weird for saying this? They kind of look like Daughter a little bit.
I could see that. Yeah, I think it is more so the clothing and the fact that the only color that's showing is gold.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, that's probably why it's giving Daughter a little.
So yeah, we go through the domain. We get to that final point where the moon raises into the sky, and that's where the moon gate opens, right? Well, not the moon gate, but where she can ascend back to her home. The Frost
portal,
Moon.
yeah.
That's where we first discover the portal, yeah. And then Nicole starts yapping.
She talks about how names are important in Teyvat, but you don't need a name from the past. It could be one that you make right now.
Exactly. It doesn't need to be a name from the past. It can be a name that you choose
right now. Right here, right now, emerge.
But that is incredibly important for something that happens in this quest. And something that happened in the previous quest.
Okay, I know where you're going. I was just gonna ask you.
So we go back to Columbina's abode. We give her name, or she chooses her name. She comes up with it, which was Columbina Hyposelenia.
What was your reaction when you saw the name?
My initial reaction was, oh, that's cute.
And then 10 seconds later, did it hit?
No, it wasn't even 10 seconds. It took me until after the quest because there's so much stuff that went on in this quest.
That's true.
I didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
I found out afterwards through a Cat with Blue Hat video. You mean about the Crimson Moon?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
I was like, oh, that's a cute name. Oh my goodness. That was literally my...
Yes, Columbina Hyposelenia is the name that she just chose for herself in the present, specifically in the current timeline. We heard it before from the Crimson Moon Marrow. Kind of, anyway. We can put 2 and 2 together when she was saying something like, if only we'd have had the courage, or I'd have had the courage to do what you did, maybe we wouldn't be in this position. And then they said something like, farewell, Hypo.
Yeah.
If this is a name that she's just given herself right now in the present, these Moon Sisters shouldn't know about that name. They said it before she...
Eyebrow waggle.
Exactly. They said her name before she'd even come up with it herself.
Right. According to where they are in their temporal plane. Technically, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
According to the judgment
because they were dead in the Mécanique de l'Analyse Cardinal. Yes. Because you're right. Because they existed thousands of years ago. So how could they know something about Columbina before she knew it herself, right? Totally makes sense. Yeah. Big question.
So we're in the thick of it now. So we're going to be getting into all the juice, all the details, everything.
Right.
We can loosely touch on the ending, but we'll obviously wrap around back to it towards the end of the video since it's the last thing that happens. But how do you think the Crimson Moon goddess knew her name?
I think it has something to do with the moon's realm, or for lack of a better term, I guess the moon gate. I guess the moon gate goes through into the realm of the moons or something like that. And if you think about it, the 3 moon sisters, 3 moon goddesses, were beings that once wielded the powers of life, death, time, space, reason, etc. Right? So they're kind of these high dimensional beings. So I kind of imagine the scene from Interstellar where the creatures that they were dealing with are 5th dimensional creatures in which they perceive time differently. It's a physical thing that they can perceive. And if you think about an object in 4D space, you can, like, for example, you pick up something on your desk, you see all sides of it, you see all different dimensions of it. It's a physical object you can hold in your hand. I think that for a fifth dimensional being, with time being that fifth axis, they just perceive time in a different way than we do. So for a fifth dimensional being, theoretically, they can perceive the past, present, and future all at once. And I think that's what's happening in the Moon Gate. I think the Moon Gate, or in this realm of the moon, it's probably a space where just time is this thing that's kind of inconceivable to someone like us who perceives it linearly. They also hinted at this where Nicole even says the analogy of time being a string, that when you bend 2 points of a string together, that's how the past and the present can meet. So I believe that's kind of how Columbina, which is funny because I use the same analogy for space and time for you, for how Diridith, someone from the past, was able to interact with someone in the future. It's because it's not necessarily she jumped through a portal, but it's just Issaroth allowed a moment in which 2 points in time met together on that linear string. But I believe
I remember that, actually. I remember you talking about that.
Yeah. So I remember that. So I believe that time is just something that, you know, it's hard to comprehend because we're four-dimensional beings and time is something that we live linearly. But for beings like the moon goddesses, they probably experience all different points of time at once you're in the realm of the moons. So I think and they kind of hinted at this because remember the scene with Durin, Albedo, and Scaramouche, where they weren't able to change the fate of the person that they were trying to save, but they could change certain variables in which the man remembered them and could interact with them momentarily. And he's technically someone from thousands, or not thousands of years. He's Hyperborean, right? So he's like thousands of years ago, ? Or from the Cataclysm. And he technically shouldn't even, you know, he would have never been able to interact with Wanderer, who let's say Wanderer, Durin, who was born literally a couple months ago or something like that, right? Yeah, but he was able to like interact with them and stuff. So I think take that concept, but add another layer into it, which is because that's present and past. So now add future to that. So someone from the future coming to introduce variables into something from the past. So
kind of like a certain someone did.
Yeah, exactly. Something like a certain someone did. So I think that's how Columbina might have, because I feel like Genshin always has they always have these scientific explanations to things. They kind of coincide with real life science. Yeah, like real life physics influences them, real life biology, etc., chemistry even. Sorry if that like didn't make sense, but oh man, I feel like physics is potentially involved for sure.
I think about the same. Full credit to Cat with Blue Hat here because they came up with like this entire thing, and I have
to watch that video.
So much sense. At the very end, when Columbina does her little, if I stay here, things are gonna be bad. Let me just yoink out. Right? Cat with Blue Hat thinks, if I got this right, that going through that moon portal sent her back in time to the original Time of the Moon goddesses, and then those three gave her the powers originally.
Aww.
And she told them her name from the future.
From the future, right?
She already decided her name in the present. She went back in time, told them her name, and that's how they knew in that voice memo message.
Right. And I think makes a lot of sense. Yeah, and it works for the logic of the echoes that we were talking about too, where it's kind of like you can't change the fate of the Moon Sisters no matter how hard you try. Like there's no bringing them back. But you can kind of interact and introduce these quote unquote variables with them in the past. Yeah.
And speaking of the echoes, another thing that I think is very important here is, just to kind of back this up a little bit, in the past, in previous nations, not every Archon, but most Archons have had some kind of creature within their nation that is a big part of them, or like derivative of them themselves, right?
Right.
I guess just for example, like Nahida has the Aranara. Nuvi / Farina, mainly Nuvi to be fair, but technically, you know, if we're going to get into technicalities about Farina being an Archon and stuff, it is what it is.
Right.
Has the Melazines. What's your original thoughts on the Kuvenki and Columbina?
Yeah, I originally thought that it made sense that if not Columbina, that they were tied to at least the three moon goddesses, because there's the whole myth of the rabbit and the moon.
What do you think now?
Ooh, good question. She says that the Luonotar, it transformed into a Luonotar after a Kuenki. it has the blessing of a goddess, but not hers. So I'm like, her in the past or her in the future?
So here's what I'm thinking, and again, this does go hand in hand partially, but I don't think fully with Cat with Blue Hat's theory. Columbina going through the Moon Gate probably did have a very similar recourse as Rharia going through the Moon Gate and splitting into millions of pieces, thousands of pieces,
Fragments,
and those pieces could be the Kuhenki.
Oh, you just made me sad, but that's such a good theory.
And then you know how Rharia's like main missing piece that I was looking for was his heart. Luonatar could be the heart, because if you remember, there's two very important details here.
I love this
super
theory.
cool details as well. And again, go watch Cat with Blue Hat's theory about this.
Yeah, I'm going to after this now. I'm interested.
Dude, they go into more detail, and I'm probably going to mess this up a little bit, but there's two very cool things. So for Luonatar specifically, there is a couple of moments that really aid and back up this theory. Number one, Luonatar at one point randomly appears right in front of us, does a little flip, and kisses the Traveler on the head.
Yeah, the first time. Yeah.
That's not a fucking normal thing.
No, yeah.
It's not. And then the other thing is, I think it's at the very end of the quest when we go back to Columbina's abode, or maybe it's in Act 5 or something, and Luonatar shows up when Columbina's missing.
Oh, yeah, at the Act 6. Yeah. It's like the prologue, the epilogue or something.
Yeah, it's something like a certain song plays, and it's the same song as when we met Columbina for the first time.
Oh my goodness. I didn't even clock that. That's crazy.
Either. And apparently the song name is like a second meeting or something.
What? No, I didn't even notice that. That's crazy.
It's something, like I say, for the love of God, and I'm gonna probably put it in the links in the comments as well to this video for people to go see, because it is it's a masterpiece of a theory. It really is.
I'm excited now. I'm excited now to watch it.
Go give it a watch. Mind-blowing stuff. I feel like Cat with Blue Hat quite literally spoiled the entirety of the next quest. But yeah, that we kind of touched on a couple other things that happened towards the end of the quest without touching on the main thing that actually did happen, which, listen, we brought Columbina back. It was great. The Moon Fair night was... Well, you tell me what you thought of it first, actually. I'm curious about the whole celebrations, the festival, everything like that. Gameplay-wise, vibes-wise, everything.
I loved it because it made me feel more connected to Columbina as a character. There's actually a detail that I just noticed. I don't remember what happened. I think I was like driving to Safeway, and then as I was driving, I was listening to like romantic music, and I was like, oh, romance, oh, weddings, oh, Columbina kind of has like bridal imagery. And I remember this happened like literally this morning as I was doing groceries, and I was like, oh, this would be really funny to bring up during the call. But you know how during the Moon Prayer night, everyone was dressed up as Columbina as a way to hide her, and Columbina kind of has like bridal imagery. Like whenever you see in the Hoyo Fair, she's always dressed up like a bride, kind of like they have these shorts that kind of depict her as that. And it's like usually associate the color white with innocence, purity, weddings, bride, whatever. But it's interesting that everyone dressed up as Columbina, because I believe in old I don't remember which culture specifically, but in a lot of like ancient cultures, a lot of the bridesmaids would dress up like the bride in order to confuse like evil spirits, so they wouldn't take the actual bride away. And I'm like, I just remembered like that mythology, like it just randomly popped up in my head because I was like, oh yeah, Columbina bridal stuff. Oh wait, Moon Prayer night. Yeah, and it's too late. I couldn't add it to the video because I was like, in the middle of ShopRite. No. Bob already edited the video, so I'm like, I'll just mention it on the call. But it was a cool detail because I was like, oh, because it kind of it's kind of funny how they use like this old folklore and these old mythologies. I don't remember which culture specifically it was because it just randomly popped up in the top of my head, but I was like, oh, it's a cool detail.
The whole quest was basically very chill, and it was a way to, especially part 2, because we got it back pretty quick, and then the Moon Fair night lasted a long time.
Yeah, it was long, but I like the time that we had with the characters. What do you think?
Me too. Yeah, no, I completely and utterly agree. I think it definitely showed us not necessarily a new side to Columbina, but a part of her that we hadn't really seen before, I guess. We knew it existed, but she never really got a chance to shine until then.
Yeah. And Sandrone surprised, like I already loved her, But I like was even more in love with her, especially after Columbina hugged her. I'm like, it's giving Wicked for good. I'm gonna cry. Like as I was,
it was very cute.
Yeah, their relationship is probably one of my, not to trump on other people's ships or anything.
The fact that you even have to say that is so annoying. I wholeheartedly agree with you, by the way. I think their relationship is incredibly fucking cute. Got a lot of shit given when I called Sandrone a Sundare or Sundere, however it's pronounced.
Really?
Like literally in Act 2 because she was kind of acting that way, and I was like, oh, she's definitely a Sundere. And they were like, oh my god, imagine calling her that.
In the big 2025. How could you,
and
Bran?
Like now, after
you just
all
ruined
these
someone's
quests,
Christmas.
like,
did you know that? Like, shame on you. You just ruined. Like, someone cannot enjoy their Christmas now because you called Sandrone a Sundere. You should be ashamed of yourself. Guys, cancel him in the comments down below, please.
Someone's got to ruin it. It's either me calling Sandrone a Sundere or people getting pissed off at Columbina making eating sounds and moaning when eating candy. So
okay, not gonna lie, when I saw that scene, my headphones were like full blasting the audio, obviously, and I was just like, I was like, I don't even want to see the tweets about this. I don't even want to see like the TikTok reactions or anything. I'm just gonna pretend I didn't hear anything and move on.
Yeah, for me, I was like, one of my biggest pet peeves is loud eaters.
So you probably don't watch mukbangs or anything, right?
Oh fuck no. Oh god, absolutely not.
Yeah, I know some people who are like, they're averse to those kinds of sounds. I get it.
One important lore aspect of the celebrations was the divination from Bobby.
Yes! Yeah.
She got the moon. Or she
for her
got
destiny
death,
card. Oh yeah, for her future card, yeah.
which she did quite openly say could be interpreted as rebirth. Which is another kind of reason why Cat with Blue Hat was like, yeah, so she's probably gone back into the time, had the 3 moon sisters bless her with the Welkin moon power, the 4th moon power that's been written, because there is notes of a 4th moon that just doesn't fucking exist, or that we haven't seen yet. So yeah, people were saying that could be Columbina's rebirth, and again, that's why like the music track was meeting for the 2nd time or something, because we've already met. Her heart's here. She's going to come back, reclaim it, become Columbina squared or something. I don't know.
Columbina squared. What are the odds that the Columbina that returns isn't necessarily the one that we spent time with?
Oh, I think it will be.
You think she's going to say the same? I think it'd be very painful and gut-wrenching and very Honkai of Hoyoverse to do.
I think they made the Traveler parallel Raria so much.
Oh, good. Yo, I like that. Yeah.
We now, as the Traveler, have gone through the exact same thing. Well,
History
almost the exact
itself.
same things Raria went through. Literally, like Raria was tasked to kill countless innocent people without necessarily knowing it at first that they were innocent and stuff. I mean, the Traveler was killing fucking Hilichurls since they stepped foot in Mondstadt, not knowing that they were innocent Comrians.
And then
right?
isn't there
Let's keep
also
it a
the
buck.
incident in the desert with Jet?
Yep. Yes. She went on a whole fucking murderous rampage, literal genocide. But then with the Traveler as well, I mean, Raria had to see his loved one go through a moon gate and followed her through, right?
Right.
We just saw Columbina do the exact same thing. What are we gonna do?
The future reflects the past.
Exactly. So I'm like, we're paralleling Raria hella hard right now.
Right.
What's the next fucking step?
I don't want to say it. Raria, the redemption arc.
Yeah, that's what I think.
I
don't want it to be.
I want to keep him bad. Is that just... That's not an unpopular opinion. That can't be. There's no way.
It's not, no. I think most people want him to remain bad. I don't think everybody needs to be redeemed.
Agreed. 100,000% agreed.
Even if it's done well, I don't think it's necessary. And I feel like a lot of characters that have been quote-unquote bad have been redeemed so far. I don't think the sinners should be those characters. I think those are literally the sinners because they're bad.
If you want to make them playable, just make them playable. I don't really... Like, if they have a convention in which... Oh, the character has to be morally aligned with the Traveler in order to be playable or something like that. I'd rather they just keep him evil and just make him playable.
I'd rather just turn the Traveler evil.
Yeah, and then just have like a really cool, different premium UI or something for him to indicate that he's not a good character or like not a morally good character, you know?
Oh, dude, just save him for Genshin Impact 2 Electric Boogaloo.
And then alternate reality where he is a good guy.
No. We just play the evil guys in that game instead of the good guys.
That'd be pretty cool.
I'd
dig it.
That. Yeah, me too.
I dig it. Yeah, villains can sell. They're actually making like a villains world in Disney World or something like that because villains are just
amazing.
They eat, you know what I mean?
Okay, so yeah, the parallels are there.
Speaking of parallel, I have an interesting parallel to bring up because you know how you indicated that things in the past have repeated and will continue to repeat. You know what hasn't repeated yet?
What?
So during the Act 6 quest, in which the group finds themselves in the Hyperborean ruins, Nicole mentions that the funerary year in which the Great War of Vengeance happened was a war between two descenders. And that's something in the history of Tevat's past that has yet to repeat. Descender v. Descender.
True. Do you think this could be more of a tease for Snezhnaya?
For sure, because Snezhnaya is the first time you read Hymns of the Great North, right? Or you know what's in the book. So it's the first time we hear a mention about there being a descender that actually came from Tevat, potentially. All records currently have Satalainen written as a normal person, and it's the only case in which someone from within Tevat actually became a descender, and it's the very thing that René de Petrichor was after. He was after like transcendence. He wanted to become a descender so badly, and he was the first to theorize that a normal person from Tevat could actually become a descender. So we originally had this collective thought of, oh, you have to be an alien essentially from Tevat, and now we're being told, wait a second. You don't have to be.
Read the small print.
Yeah, you don't have to be. It's just insanely difficult, and it's probably something. I wonder if in order to be a descender, you have to be an alien is kind of like a requirement barrier. So if people don't know that, oh, you can actually be from within Tevat, they're less likely to pursue it.
That is a good point. I never thought about that. Do you think the war's going to be between the Traveler and the third descender?
Or at least if you think of one character who is currently in the process of pursuing transcendence, who do you think it is right now?
Dottore.
And I feel like Dottore and his greedy ass, I was like, I don't think he's gonna stop. All of his research has been wanting to be a god, wanting to transcend godhood, running experiments in order to achieve that, right? And it's I feel like his greedy ass is not gonna stop at just wanting to be a god.
The thing is, I agree with you, but I'm like, if this bitch ain't considered a descender yet, how the fuck is he gonna be in the future? What? Surely this bitch has got the will to change fate.
He just needs to do what Satalainen did potentially, and maybe it involves burning the Irminsul tree.
True. I actually think that's gonna happen sooner than we think.
I hope so. I want to see the world in danger.
So.
Sorry, I just really like chaos.
Me too.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. I think now makes the most sense for him to burn the Irminsul tree, because we've just figured out that he has found a way to manipulate records of the past.
Which without is insane.
It's fucking wild, but he did it without Irminsul manipulation, which means he would be at the biggest advantage ever if he destroyed the one method that everybody else has to be able to
do anything like that.
Do anything with records of the past, and then be the only person with the knowledge and the power to actually affect records of the past in that way.
Alice is shaking in her boots.
Well, Alice
in
could probably
the concept of a hat. That's true.
True. Yeah, she could probably still do some shit, but most people, they wouldn't have a fucking chance, bro. And I feel like that would be the smartest way for him to get the biggest heads up, head start on whatever the fuck he's planning with. Whatever the fuck he's planning. It's not even Project Stooger at this point. I don't know.
No, it's beyond. It goes beyond. It's his own thing. Yeah, but it's crazy because it's he's trying to achieve all these grandiose things, but something his plans are still in line with whatever the Tsaritsa could be planning potentially. So whether it's reviving a third descender, becoming one, etc., it still coincides with something she has to be planning, right? Because she's not going to make him a harbinger unless something he's pursuing also falls in line with something she's pursuing. Potentially, or she can get use out of him or something.
For sure, absolutely. I mean, I think she needed him the same way she needed Arlecchino and everybody to work together for the greater cause. Absolutely.
Right. Right.
But at the same time, I genuinely think he was just smarter than every other harbinger, and played everybody. Because it's already been confirmed that they worked together for things, right? We know that Arlecchino and Dottore hate each other, but they work together on projects. We don't know which projects, but I can imagine. In my head, I already think Dottore and Arlecchino worked together on a project where she provided him with the balefire, or it is balefire, right?
Oh yeah, you're
fire.
right. Yeah. He was able to like extract it from her or something.
Exactly, and because it's a fire that can destroy memories, I think that's what he's going to use to burn the Ermin soul, because it just makes the most sense.
It does, yeah. Burning away memories. Yeah, that's cool. And it's also it's one of the powers of the three moons too.
Yes.
So it's definitely something that's potent enough to destroy something like the Ermin soul tree. Crazy thought.
It is. And another
Crazy
point about
thought.
that as well. So at the very end, when Dottore is harnessing the powers of the three moons, Columbina goes through the moon gate. Again, theorizing that she goes back to the moon sister's realm. Do you think that could be why instantly, as soon as she does that and goes back, the iridescent moon, the crimson moon, starts fighting back against Dottore?
Oh, good question.
Did you notice that?
Like all of them, they all start fighting against them.
Stop
Yeah.
trying to. What was it? He was like,
He's like, don't reject
"Stupid
me, world. Yeah.
Don't reject." Yeah. I've always loved Dottore. People give me shit for it.
Oh, same.
I think he is one
Yeah.
of the best written villains in any gacha game.
Yeah, he's cool.
But yeah, the Crimson Moon fighting back at that point in time was very interesting to me, because I was like, why? Why the Crimson Moon? Especially after specifically calling out Columbina's real name as well previously. And then the second Columbina goes back through the moon gate, that happens. It's like, that's too much coincidence.
I wonder if the Crimson Moon is the only one she was able to talk to. No, but then she said when you appeared in front of us, we were all like stunned too. She says we, so I'm like,
Yeah. No, I think
I'm like,
they
oh,
would
it'd
have
be
all been
interesting
there.
if it was only, yeah, because then it's also like, because I see it as you know how we were talking about in A Space and Time for You, where New Conrea is back, but it exists on a layer of reality that no one can perceive yet.
Yeah.
So it's almost like wavelengths, and you know how you can only perceive certain colors, or certain wavelengths. So that's why it's like when scientists do imagery on anything in space, they do infrared, ultraviolet to see the lights that we can't perceive, because we can't perceive like the wavelengths at which they vibrate or something like that. So I kind of see the moon realm as something like that. Like it's a layer of reality that we can't perceive, and it's a layer of reality in which all of Tevat's past, present, and future coexist simultaneously.
Do you remember my little theory about where the shades were at during their little teaser? In
Yeah,
that golden place?
that realm. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the swirling thing in the middle?
Exactly. The swirling thing in the middle, the fact that it was all golden, the fact that
Staircase. It's the Honun.
Nobody's gaze should be able to perceive that, but Piero's could.
That layer of reality, but Piero can see it. Yeah,
And I'm like,
crazy.
Okay, well. Yeah. No, I still think that could be one of the moon realms. I really do.
The golden moon, the frost moon you were talking about.
God fucking damn, man. There's so much information in this goddamn pack.
Yeah. What's a theory that you came up with that you really want for it to come true? Especially because we're getting to a point in a story where, like, they're giving us so many information, and I feel like we're narrowing down to certain theories now. You know what I mean? Like, everyone's coming to, like, the same conclusions, which makes sense because we're getting to the climax of Genshin's overarching story eventually.
Yes.
So, but what's a theory that you came up with that, like, you want so badly to be true?
I think the one theory that I would love to be, like, true in general is my only theory video that I've ever made myself and came up with.
La Senora?
No, it was about the cycle of Genshin being a completely cyclical story, and everything going back to Mondstadt in the very end, and the statue of Venti in the middle being
I remember this.
the literal gateway to Celestia, and it turning and facing a certain way and then actually opening up in the end.
Oh, that'd be sick.
Yeah, I mean, I think it could literally just be a case as well as of now that we've seen Venti's new powers, literally just generating a wind current strong enough to take us all the way up to fucking Celestia at this point. By the statue,
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think I had a weird theory at the end of this patch.
we like weird theories. The weirder the better, in my opinion.
We were talking about what was it? Nibelung, Fiends, and a couple of other like characters in general. The fact that Fiends is depicted as the hydrogenous character and stuff, and Aether and Lumina theorized to be split from the same person.
Right.
I would love for the theory of Aether / Lumine both to have been Fiends, the androgynous god, basically. And then the other really weird theory that I had, and I don't think it's true, but I just think it'd be very funny if it was true, is that the Sarita isn't real.
Isn't real?
Like physically, she's not here.
You know, my bank account just took a breath. It's like, oh, she doesn't exist? Oh, I don't have to spend.
Like I say, I don't expect it to be true, but it's like the only thing I remember is the original Fatui trailer when Piero's playing chess. No.
Oh, the
Piero's
original.
Yeah, Piero's playing chess with the Sarita, and we never see even a hand of hers. It's just a gust of fucking cryo wind.
Listen, on the upside, I save money. On the other side,
yeah,
we missed out on some good blue character design.
This is just a very stupid theory, but I don't think she's gonna be blue.
I'll cry. You see cryo, cry. I put the cry in cryo.
Yeah, but if we think about other titles and cryo characters and very important cryo characters, I think she's gonna have pink hair, bro. I think she's gonna be
hear me out. If she was black and white, if she was like monochromatic, that'd be sick.
That would be kind of sick. Not gonna happen though. Too boring. No one to pull. Like it's cool for a lot of people. It's not cool for the masses, I think.
As that pink hair makes people spend. I see how it is.
It does. Oh, what was your theory that you want to come true, actually?
I had a theory that, you know how the Inte Vat is the national flower of Conria?
Yes.
But then no matter which traveler you choose in the beginning, either Aether or Lumine, Lumine will always have the Inte Vat in her hair, which doesn't make sense because if she's in the traveler world, she never visited Conria, right? It's an extensive amount of time that she would have that flower.
Sorry, is it confirmed to be a Conrian flower, not just from their homeland?
So here's the eyebrow waggle thing. Dainsleif calls it the national flower of Conria.
Ah, okay.
And it's like, and when you take it out of the land, it becomes hardened, and then when you take it back to Conria, it becomes soft again, and it like dissipates into dust or something like that. But then during the Nazis and Kreutz world quest, travelers ask, what do the flowers by Marianne, like what do the flowers from your homeland look like?
Yeah.
And traveler goes, either the flower in my hair or the flower in my sister's hair. And I'm like, the Inte Vat, like what? That's from but they're aliens. So my theory as to why I think the Abyss sibling is so compelled to save Conria is because I think they were tasked to find a livable world, because something outside the world, something in outer space is not right. So I think the traveler sibling saw the Inte Vat in Conria and was like, oh, the last of our people were here. Like they found it, and this is where they settled. So that's why I think they feel so compelled to save Conria. Everything's about Conria. They're like the messiah of Conria.
Interesting. Holy shit.
Yeah, so that's why they're like, this is our home now, because this is where the remnants of our people, like this is where they ended up. Like one of them ended up in Conria and grew this flower. And then that flower became a sign like, oh, we're supposed to be here. This is our new home. Like this is what we were supposed to find. So that's why I think they're so compelled to save Conria. And that's why I think the national flower of Conria is an Inte Vat, as well as the homeland flower of the travelers, even though they're from outer space.
No, that is fucking crazy. Holy shit. Okay. Oh, that was interesting as well. I was like, the Doctor is free to use the 3 moons' powers. Doesn't mention the 4th moon, though. Future Columbina, bitch.
Oh, okay. All right. So I have a theory about that. Do you want to hear it?
Yes.
I think the 4th moon itself is actually Nodcry, which I know it sounds so simple, because it's like, oh, Nodcry is the land that the remains of it is, or like the land itself is the remains of a 4th moon that failed to form. So it's like, duh, means lift, duh. No, but hear me out. Nodcry is the key to making sure Columbina never disappears again. Because if you look in the reason why the Moon Sisters started fading away was because the world actively started rejecting them, right? Like Tevat actively started rejecting them.
Yeah.
So the world's kind of like, oh, we don't have this need for this role anymore, right? So in order for Columbina to stay, because I think she's not a normal human, right? She has a name, but that name is not tied to any role in Tevat. She's like, oh, I'm a moon goddess. And then Tevat is kind of like, moon goddess of what, ho? And then kick her out, right? So
What's else Andromeda?
Yeah, but the thing is, like, she can become a moon goddess, and she's going to be the goddess of Nodcry. Because as we can see, the world doesn't have to have a physical moon in the sky in order for it to recognize it as a moon. That's how Dottore was able to manipulate the situation in which Columbina would end up next to him, right? He was like, I created this false moon in the memories of people in the past, and that's the world recognized it enough to be like, oh, okay, yeah, so it's a false moon. Oh.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I think...
Oh my God. And this just goes back to exactly what Nicole continuously hammers home. Just never trust only what you see.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Because you don't need a physical thing in order for it to exist in the way Teyvat's world works. It doesn't work like real life, right? It works on this weird metaphysics level. It's almost technical, almost like a computer simulation.
It's
wink, eyebrow waggle.
Very much like a computer simulation. And something Alice said as well. I don't remember exactly what it was. Something Alice said in one of these quests really fucking fucked me up, dude. It was literally like when she was writing stuff down in a spell book, she was programming the data. And I was like, what the fuck? Why would you say it like that?
Yep. She's a computer architect or software engineer. It's crazy.
She's the dev, dude. She's the way.
She's the dev. Yeah, she's the way. Exactly. And it's just, I think the more you think of Teyvat as a computer system, and it's funny you say this because I actually go over this in my last video, all the analogies that you can tie to it. So for example, Celestia is the kernel. It runs all the main processes in a PC. You have the daemon processes, which are processes hiding in the background that complete a lot of these huge tasks that you don't know about, but the computer does. And it's kind of like the shades. They're called daemon processes, which is funny because all the shades have names that are derived from demons.
True.
It's spelled differently though. It's DAE. And then you have UID root user, which is UID 0, because in computers, 0 is always recognized as the first. So it's like first ascender. So it'd be Heavenly Principles, and they have root access to everything basically. You have Irminsul as a database. You have the Abyss as malware, basically.
True.
So it's kind of like she's kind of like a orphan node, I would say, like Columbina. Like she has a name, but her role in Teyvat, the computer doesn't recognize it. It's like, oh, I don't recognize, like you're calling yourself a moon goddess, but we don't see you as that. So what do you need to do in order to get access to something, in order to have authority over something, right?
Run it as
in
administrator.
Computer science, as administrator, you need a descender or something like that. But even more, you need a certificate to have authority over something in a community, in a computer system. You need a certificate. Where are certificates stored? I'm pretty sure they're stored in the database. What's the database in Teyvat? Irminsul. So you need to probably do like an Irminsul rewrite in order for the world to recognize Columbina as a valid moon goddess, with Nodcry, the failed fourth moon, being the moon she is the goddess of. So that's why I think characters like Alice are here, characters like Wanderer are here, characters like Nicole are here, because they are quite literally the Irminsul experts.
Oh, chat, she's smart, man.
It's just the one time I used my degree.
Bro, the only degree I know is Celsius. That's crazy. Holy.
Nah, I only know freedom units.
Did you just cock-a-doodle-doo for freedom? Wait, does that make the Archons CPUs?
They'd be the equivalent of the daemon processes, but
and they
more
also have demon
forward.
names.
They're more, and they're more forward, I would say. Like, they're not quote unquote hidden processes, not like the shades. Like the shades are quite literally shades. They hide in the background. So they're more like main processes that run probably.
I mean, some of the Archons are kind of hiding. They don't want to be seen.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. That's true. So they could also be demon processes, and that's why they have demon names. You're right. And then I would say the moon goddesses are probably legacy processes that just they're deprecated. Like I would call them like deprecated software. Like they're not currently supported on Teyvat's current operating system. Yeah. At least that's how I see it. So that's why they're being rejected. You can't use them. The computer doesn't really know what to do with them. It's like, oh, I'm kind of wanted to delete them, kind of thing, because they're legacy. They don't run on the current operating system, or as I would like to say, they don't function anymore in Teyvat's current world order. And what the Saritsa's doing is probably like changing the operating system, like going from Mac OS to Windows or Linux or something.
Jesus.
So it's a complete overhaul of everything. That's probably what she's trying to do.
What if this is like, Windows 10 and Genshin Impact 2 is Windows 11? Oh, God.
Yeah, I could totally see that. And it goes into your whole Teyvat as a cyclical thing. Because if you think of computer processes, what are computers good at doing? They're good at running simulations, right?
True.
So it's like, it goes into your whole, like, Teyvat seems like it's a cyclical thing. Because, Amphorius for real.
What happens when everything goes wrong with a computer? Restore the factory settings, bitches.
New old world order's back.
Hell yeah.
Come back, Nibelung.
And then Venti is System 32, the one thing you can never get rid of. That's why he's always like, welcome back. Good to see you again.
That's hilarious.
God, that was very interesting. I've never thought about Genshin in terms of an actual fully functional fucking PC before. That was very cool. Thank you for that. Let's briefly go over, I guess, just thoughts over Durin's quest. Just overall thoughts. And then I also want your thoughts of how they presented it over the course of 5 calendar days.
It doesn't matter. If you have a thought about it, I'd love to hear it.
Honestly, I don't really. I thought it was a very good quest, but it was... I think a certain part of it made Paimon even more sus than she already is. Because we go.
You can spoil it for me. I don't mind at all.
Yeah, we go into one of the worlds, and Barbeloth is there as like the little Dodoko thing. She was divining Durin's future, I think. I won't go into what that was because you should experience that for yourself, or at least hear it word for word.
Okay.
But afterwards, Paimon specifically asks her if she can divine her future. And Barbeloth is like, you want to know your fate? Are you sure? It might not be like the best or something. And she's like, I want to know. And then it takes a couple of seconds and Paimon's like, well, and Barbeloth literally is just going, as if to say, this don't look good, bro.
Oh no. Oh no. Paimon equals primordial one noises. No. Oh no. No, I have a feeling there's gonna be a situation in which we have to split either because of moral reasons.
100%, yeah.
Or because someone kidnaps Paimon, we get separated, whatever have you. But it's just the story is like, oh, Paimon's your best friend, right? Like, always like, oh, Paimon's your friend. Like, we'll never get separated, right? And it's like, psych! It's like, I was JK. I was the Lord Dark Evil this entire time. Oh, man.
I think it's either one or two things. I think, number one, it is pretty bad, what she saw. Maybe, I think the most likely outcome is that Paimon does end up turning against us at some point because it's just being foreshadowed so much. Or, a more plausible theory is I just don't think she could see a fate, and I think it scared her.
Because she's the first descender.
She can see everything. At some point, did Mona... I'm pretty sure she also tried to, right? This travel companion of yours, do you know anything of her origins? No matter what, I cannot seem to discern a single shred of information regarding this floating fairy's fate. Oh, so you don't know where she comes from either. It's the voice line, interesting things from Mona. So I'm just thinking nobody can divine Paimon.
And that's scary because, like, I feel like the only people who you probably can't divine is probably... Descenders, question mark. I put a big question mark on that because I don't know if Vedder Fulnir tried to divine Traveler in that scene where but then he was talking to it's ambiguous because we don't know if he's talking to the sibling in the past or he's actually directing the Traveler, because he was like, oh, I see your future or something. He says something along the lines of that. I don't remember. And he was like, I'll be there to witness like your end, blah 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 blah, or something like that.
Yeah.
So if he was talking to the Traveler, then that means the Descender's fate can be deciphered. But then if not, and Barbeloth is horrified, then that does have some pretty large, like huge revelations for Paimon's identity, right? Because it's like if Descenders are the only ones whose futures you can't divine, then what does that make Paimon for someone like Barbeloth, right?
Exactly. Maybe that's why she's a perfect guide. She has no fate. Maybe she's the Descender after all. Maybe I was right.
That'd be crazy.
You know what? Fuck that. The question that you asked earlier, what theory of mine would I want to be true?
Yeah, give it to me.
I would want it to be the theory that I had actually about Paimon and the Traveler having their roles reversed and Traveler being the one to guide Paimon.
Oh, I like that theory.
I had the theory initially in the Little One quest, actually. In Natlan, because we guided Little One, not
the Little
vice
One
versa.
to their destiny, yeah. Oh!
And the voice said it to us at the end. They were like, they couldn't have completed this journey without you, and I had to lie to you so that you would follow along and bring him here. I think it's going to be the same fucking thing, bro. I think Paimon is the Little One. I think
you're
we're
onto
guiding
something.
her. Because at the end of the day, she's not a perfect fucking guide. I'm sorry, she can't fight for shit. We're the one that's protecting her throughout these entire fucking lands. We're doing everything. She's the one with the Omni symbol on her.
True.
I'm just saying, bro. I think we're the guide.
If you think of the Simulanka story, where we ended up not being the hero, we're just an observer, or we're just helping Wanderer. because he was the real hero of Simulanka, and we're more so nudging him across the story than us being the hero. Exactly. It also ties into what you were saying about Paimon, is that we're just an observer and we're just supposed to guide her. That'd be crazy. We're the Sealy. It's not Paimon, it's us.
Be pretty cool, right?
That'd be a pretty cool theory I like that. See, I love these kinds of quote unquote crazy, like, not theories. That it's, I'm not saying like, yeah, I'm not saying that it's like not substantiated, because that's pretty good. Like, I really like the backing that you had for it.
But it's entirely
But I like
crack.
that it's so, yeah, I like it though, because I feel like we're at this point where anything can happen in the story, and there are so many crack things that Genshin has done in the story that you're just like, wait, what? Like the whole Rhine daughter consuming Nibirius, and now Rhine daughter is literally, who's also one of the 5 sinners, is one of the 4 shades now too, right? So it's just like, if Genshin can do that, I can do this, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I like that, because I think the more possibilities you explore, the closer you are to the actual truth. And I feel like I think it's good to encourage people to divulge into these kinds of thought spirals, because you never know what's going to take you. You might be right.
Hell yeah, man.
All possibilities, all dimensions, across time and space. Keep theorizing.
All roads lead to Zhongli.
Yeah. Oh, imagine if it does. Like the god of contracts, like him knowing the truth about the entire world, and the part of the contract was for him not to say anything and just to let things play out like they're supposed to.
Hey, you said, man, with the PC stuff needing certificates, maybe they're the same thing. Maybe he's the one that writes them.
Oh, that'd be insane. I would love that for him though. Go Zhongli.
I don't know the data shit, man. The PC stuff. That's too big brain for me.
Virtual machine is kind of like, it's like a testing ground.
Okay.
And you can do whatever you want in a virtual machine. So it's like it's not a physical machine. It's kind of like a virtual, like the name says, it's a virtual machine running on top of the machine. But any program or anything you run in the virtual machine doesn't actually affect your computer system as a whole. It's just a virtual space that you can create and delete. And I'm just like, oh, I wonder if that's kind of like Simulanka or these other realities within Genshin, Alice's Creations, Millie Astro Wonderland. It's like they're all kind of little virtual machines.
I say Alice's
that inherit
Creations.
Stuff from the original. Alice's Creations? Oh, you mean like Granddaughter's Creations? Oh, Alice's Creations. Yeah, like Simulanka, right?
Well, I guess that was more so, well, it's kind of all of them, I guess, but it was more so M's, right? Anders daughter?
Yeah, Anders daughter too. Yeah.
It's a lot of
They're
them.
all like, it's a lot of them.
I was mainly thinking of the freaking islands, Golden Apple with Alice, but yeah. That'd be very cool as well. That is a good point. Like all these different
computer analogies, man.
Testing can be done. Yeah. No, you're right. Even Millie Astra, technically.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Technically,
which was also created by a Hexenzucker mage.
Who's also hot.
Yeah. Who's that, Octavia?
She's like, she's like really hot. Like when I first saw her design, and I was like, ooh, it's a good thing she's not It's a good thing she's not playable.
Min's just
for my sake. Yeah, I see blue.
Yeah, blue just
on a
sets
woman,
you off.
And it's just like, ooh, you know. Yeah, sorry, Dainsleif. I mean, no, he's not here right now. He's like on his yearly quest to kick some Abyss Heralds. So
he's holding our future redemption arca.
Yeah, no, the rare redemption arc. You think he'd be there for that?
Well, he's still holding the gate closed, isn't he?
That's true. He's keeping the cheeks closed.
Yeah.
I just imagine him like clenching his cheeks really tight, and that's how he's keeping the moon gate closed. You know.
I like that.
If he lets out a fart, it's over.
We should do another one of these after the next
totally
patch.
Down.
I know we were late with this one, but like I say, things just kind of crept up on both of us. We were both very busy. I think you also got sick. I'm glad you're feeling a bit better now. But as I like to say, better late than never.
Better late than never. Just like constipation, better late than never. Men's Leaf signing out.